Hello everybody, it is July the 6th and this is garden update number 9. I'm going to do a little harvesting. I've gone a couple days without harvesting any of the tomatoes specifically for this purpose, and hopefully a few more are red than usual. So starting off over here on the side with midnight snacks and some San Marzanos. You'll see down there in the dark areas there also some Atomic Sunset tomatoes. Also, I'm trying to use a tripod this time to make things a little bit more stable. We've got quite a few of these nice snacks. They're ready. Looking pretty nice. Blossoming rot. These I'm pretty sure are San Marzanos. Quite a few Atomic Sunsets in here. Nice and bright yellow. Bring this right in a second. Some of these have kind of a little bit of an orange stripe to them. They were all too far in the sun to get any anthocyanin, but they're still beautiful tomatoes. I don't think I've tried one that's really been fully ripe yet. Get these two. So I'm trying to let these go a little bit longer than some of the other ones. Hoping that they'll get a little sweeter because they're a little tart the way I've had them so far. They are beautiful tomatoes and they look great in a nice tomato salad. Back there you'll see some ripe Verona F1s, several on that strand, and we'll probably get those from the other side. You'll notice here a habanero is starting to turn a little bit red. These are Primero red habaneros, though they're not quite as hot as normal. But that's the first one that's turning color at all. Looks great. These peppers are absolutely incredible. I've harvested, I don't know, half a dozen off of that plant and quite a few more off of some that are on the back side. But some of these are huge. I don't know if you can see in there, but similarly, here's the Black Magic jalapeno. Quite a few in here. These are kind of large in girth, but they're not that long. They're only about as, I don't know, quite about the size of my thumb, but looking pretty good. The super chili is looking great. It's still loaded down. None with any color on them yet. On This shot we've got, see on this side, I believe that is Persuasion. And so you'll see a little bit of color. This one's blushing. That's looking good. And then, you know, these are Persuasion, but those down there are, and these here are actually Amethyst Jewel. They don't have any color just yet. There's just no way I can get a good angle on the ones that are changing color. But, well, maybe there's one way. Let me just reach in here, because I think this one may actually be worth. Not quite all the way there, but looking pretty nice. See, to me, that's more what I was expecting. Really, the Dark Galaxy or Persuasion to look like. So, I don't know. Maybe I mislabeled them. Back in here, you can see these are supposed to be Cosmos. And they're looking good as well. That's a real pretty light pink with nice anthocyanin blush. Didn't get a lot of sun on that. Those lower ones didn't get much, but several of them are turning nice and red, so that's nice. Here's another one that's good and ready. The first one I picked actually had a different shape, but had a little bit more of the anthocyanin blush, but it was actually really nice and sweet. I was pretty happy with that. And then look at this. That first ripe Italian sweet pepper. That's looking great. And over here, a number of other Sandy Marizanos. They're all good to go. These are all good size. They're nice and meaty, firm textured, good tomatoes. Gotta be a little careful because I have a tomato thief here prowling about. He likes to go around to the corner here and try to pluck off tomatoes from that Norwood Minor. He's being a little picky right now. I think he likes to get them up to a certain size, but right now I think I've got them trained to where most of the growth is around the back. Back here we've got the sun golds and blue boreberries. Here's a quick couple of handfuls of those tomatoes. And just to show, there are going to be so many more. Looking at these, this back row over here, got plenty of green tomatoes and a number of shishito peppers over there. And over here at these jalapenos, I've basically gotten most of the peppers off of this plant here. Although one good sized one right there. Maybe a couple smaller ones. This pepper plant here, however, is still quite loaded down, and so is the one next to it. I mean, you can see, actually I've come out here every day and picked off ones that are just turning, and they're all about this size, so they're kind of small, but they're turning already, so you know they're ready. So I've picked off, I would say, 6 or 8 of these every day I come out of here, and they're all small, but I'll say they taste great. No problem with them. If I could get that number of peppers every day, I'd be happy. This cowhorn pepper plant, let's reposition. You can see that is just loaded. There are so many on that. And the same is true for the super chili. Just loaded down. And then just around here, this pepper plant is small. It's got several of these peppers. I think it's a blot, but you know, I did have purple bell pepper seeds, and so it could be that these are all purple bell peppers. They're all right there in the kind of the joint where all the shoots come out. So I've turned that one around several times just to keep it more evenly lit, but wherever the sunlight hits it, it seems to get purple, and then there are a couple areas I think have got a little sun scald on them. Now let's see if we can pick a few of these Norwood minors. These are a beautiful red with orange stripes, or orange with red stripes. And even though these are orange, and some of them are more red than others, on the inside they're red completely. When they're a little underripe, the flesh is red, but the seed gel and seeds are green, but they still taste great either way. I probably could take this whole truss. Look at that. Just tons and tons of them. This one's probably a little underripe, but actually I ate one of those with the green and it's still really good. These Veronas have been the next most prolific tomato in the garden as far as production, and I'm pretty happy with them. They taste great. They're great for tomato salads or caprese salads. Yep, that one was a standalone, and a little bit of blossom end rot. Those get thrown away. Eli doesn't seem to care if they have blossom end rot. And here's the special one. This is my first triple crop to harvest. And this is easily the biggest tomato I've pulled off this year. Went and got some snips real quick. That is a beautiful, large, pink tomato. Might just have to weigh that one just to see. You'll notice over here the solar flare tomatoes. And then we've got some atomic grape tomatoes to harvest. And then that over there looks to me like a persuasion or a solar flare, but it's labeled as a dark galaxy. But again, this is another plant that hasn't had a lot of sun exposure, and that's what usually helps to develop the dark shoulders on those things. People say they have a hard time telling when the atomic grapes are ready for harvest, but in my mind they've been pretty easy. They do have a tendency to split, but when they get that bronze color, you know, it's not light green like these, it's more this color here, which has got some orange to it, and some of them will even have reddish elements. You know, that's definitely more bronze in my opinion, but there's so many of these tomatoes, and I've been waiting to harvest them. So there's plenty that are ready. And I'll say they're surprisingly sweet. I wasn't expecting them. I mean, never have any until this year. I'd never eaten a green tomato in my life other than fried, you know, yarn stuff. But these are delicious, and they, I mean, just to spice up the color in your caprese salad. I've been very pleasantly surprised at how delicious those are. See how that's got spots and streaks? I think it's supposed to also have some dark areas too. That looks to me more like the pictures of the solar flare on the website. Here, I think this is the last bit of harvest. Falling off, or something is messing with them, and they've been knocked off, but they're good to go. And they don't have any damage, so pretty happy with that. More aromas. I had a Dr. Wyche's over here that looked like it was ready, and then I turned it over and it had a big huge crack in the middle of the bottom, and I threw it out. Now I kind of think that I shouldn't have, because it was right in the middle of where there was cat facing, so I probably could have saved it. But my experience with those tomatoes is they rot before you know it. They can sometimes rot from the inside out. So I decided to chunk it. But that is the end of the tour for today, and a little bit of harvesting. So thanks for watching. You know, if you have any suggestions, please let me know. I'm not to the point where I ask anybody to like or subscribe. I just keep watching.